Hey, English Queens. So today we're going to be talking about Long Way Down. I unfortunately don't have the physical copy with me. I did return it back to the library. But I figured we'd have a little agenda for my video. First, we're going to talk about a little summary of the book, and then we can talk about some kind of teaching approaches, but also why it's a good book in general to have as young adult lit. Um, and why it shouldn't be kind of not banned, but not something that people would reach for when they're doing lit circles or teaching anything. Um, so the whole premise behind Long Way Down is about a 12-year-old named Will. He recently, or not recently, but he watched his brother die in front of him because he was shot by a gang member from the Dark Sons. Um, so now Will has to live his life per the rules that many black kids have to listen to. It's meant for the broken to follow. So people like Will, since he's lost someone so dear to him. And the rules are not to cry, not to snitch, and to get revenge. So now has to make this decision about whether or not he's gonna seek revenge against um, Sean's murderer. And when he's making this decision, he reaches for his gun, uh, goes in the elevator to take 7 floors down to the lobby in order to go kill this guy, basically. And on each of the floors, he meets one of his past relatives who's died by gun violence. And they kind of all persuade him to not make this decision because he'll end up like them. He will end up in this really vicious circle of gun violence and just constantly being killed. Um, so obviously the book is quite a little bit dark. Um, it evokes a lot of emotion from the reader. Um, I think that's why it's really great to use for reader response theory. It is obviously very heavy topic that a lot of kids can relate to, especially inner city kids. So that's just something to be mindful of when teaching this book. But in terms of why it's great, I mean, it's written in verse. There's not too many words on a page, so kids can easily read through it in probably 90 minutes. It's also just a short, invigorating read. It has packs a lot of punch in each page. It doesn't take forever to get to the climax like a lot of sort of more classic literature does. It's just a really great short read for kids, probably 12 and up to read. Again, it does have a lot of mature topics that not a lot of kids can handle. So I would keep that in mind when teaching this book. Um, in terms of some teaching approaches, I was thinking maybe teachers could do some kind of storyboard to show Will's development through the book. I think this would be really interesting because if you read the novel in reverse, then it would be interesting because they also have a graphic novel. So it's kind of storyboard kind of encapsulates the graphic novel without actually having to read it. Um, and then another thing you can do is if you want to not just read YA lit, then you can definitely pair it with some classics. I was thinking about The Raven, Edgar Allan Poe. He basically spirals into um, madness after losing his lover. And while it's more of a brother than a lover being lost, it has the same effect of like Will spiraling towards the end of like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know how to make this decision. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good night.